With more on today's hearing is Missouri Senator Josh Hawley. Senator, good to see you. There are very specific scams and ways to entrap young people. I don't think everybody in America is fully aware of this, sextortion being one of them. Can you explain how dangerous this is and what is out there and the impact it's having on kids so everyone really gets this?
Oh, it's having an incredible impact on kids, Sean. And I mean, teenagers, listen, I'm the father of 3 kids. None of them are teenagers yet, thank goodness. But if you're a teen, I mean, here's some stats. Young girls, teenage girls between the ages of 13 and 15 on Instagram, 37% of them saw nudity on the platform, unwanted, sent to their accounts within the first 7 days of being on the platform. 25% of them within 7 days, Sean, were propositioned sexually by an adult man. I mean, just think about this. These are girls between the ages of 13 and 15. That data, by the way, comes from Facebook. That's their own internal data. This is a company that has profited off of the exploitation of kids, the exploitation of minors, and now it's time for them to pay up. They need to set up a victims' compensation fund. They need to pay these people, and you know what? The families ought to be able to sue them.
It was a pretty powerful moment that you got Zuckerberg to stand up. I wouldn't really call it maybe the most sincere apology, and that's why we continue to do more to be the best at what we do, et cetera. How is it possible, or is it even possible, that he doesn't know this is going on? There's no way that they don't know, and there's no way that they haven't known for a long time. Your committee has been all over them for a long time on this.
Yeah, he absolutely knows what's going on, Sean. And the reason I know that is because we've had whistleblowers from Facebook come and testify under oath that they collected that kind of information I just shared with you and sent it to Zuckerberg personally, and he ignored it. I mean, so what he should have said to the families is, I'm so sorry for what we've done, and we will do better. And the way they're going to do better is they'll hold themselves accountable. Listen, Mark Zuckerberg's worth $140 billion. If he devoted just 10% of that to helping victims, think what it could do for these families. And by the way, if he would actually change his platform and not allow pedophiles and sex predators on there, he could do a service to every family in America. I'll just say this, Sean. He seems to have all the time and attention in the world to censor conservatives. Facebook leapt at the opportunity to censor any questions about COVID, to label people who had COVID vaccine questions as potential terrorists. If you question the Hunter Biden laptop, they shut you down, but yet they can't lift a finger to take sex predators off their platform. I don't buy it.
Yeah, there's a lawsuit. Senator Graham, who said that Zuckerberg has blood on his hands, and he referenced the South Carolina state rep who is suing Instagram after a 17-year-old son, Gavin, died by suicide after falling victim to an extortion group from Nigeria operating through a Meta-owned app. They threatened the young man that if you don't give them the money, that they would expose photos that I guess they kind of manipulated this kid into sending. How common is this? So parents really need to understand. How common is this? Your kids are on social media, you know, all their friends are on social media. Okay. But these things, there are predators out there that are doing these things to children, and they think there's no way out, like in this case, except to, you know, obviously this kid saw no other way out. He felt the real pressure of an extortion.
Well, get this, Sean. Just 3 years ago, the Center for Exploited and Missing Children that keeps track of these statistics reported only about 100 cases of that kind of sextortion, it's called. Last year, they reported over 20,000 of these cases online. 20,000. I mean, as a father, that strikes fear into my heart. I know it does in the heart of every parent that's out there. Here's another statistic. The New Mexico Attorney General did an investigation. They found that a profile of a 13-year-old girl, it was only up for a day on Instagram before she had been added against her will to a group, a chat group, that included pedophiles and other people who were propositioning her for sex. 13 years old was her profile. I mean, this stuff, it's outrageous. Zuckerberg knows about it. He needs to be accountable for it, and they need to pay for it.
And by the way, where's the FBI? I know they're busy investigating moms and dads showing up at school board meetings as domestic terrorists, and I know they're busy going after peaceful protesters that are pro-life, and I know they're busy warning big tech about a potential disinformation campaign that might have to do with Hunter and Joe Biden, which I believe played a part in the 2020 election. At what point do they get held accountable? They have protections that other news organizations don't have because they're supposed to be a platform. But at what point does the responsibility lie with them to make sure that children on these sites are fully protected?
Well, number one, the responsibility should lie with the sites right now, with the platforms. These are the biggest, richest companies in the world. There's no reason they should be getting handouts from government in the form of special protections. You should be able to sue them. If your kid gets propositioned online, if your kid gets sex abuse material, child porn pushed to them online, you ought to be able to stop that as a mom or dad, including by suing them, number one. Number two, as to the FBI, here's what the FBI was talking to Facebook about. They were pressuring Facebook to take down posts about Hunter Biden. They were pressuring Facebook to take down posts about the COVID vaccine, posts about election integrity. That's where all their focus has been. They're not focused on sex predators. They're focused on suppressing speech. Well, they've got it exactly backwards. Sean, they need to be held accountable, too, and that starts with Chris Wray. He's got to go. Mark Zuckerberg, he should be on the hook personally. It's time to get these people actually focused on working for us, being responsible, doing the right thing.
It's sad. These stories about what's happening to young kids is mind-blowing. Senator, great job today. Let's see if anything happens with that apology and what they're doing moving forward. We appreciate you being with us.